I had no choice. Perfect Crown did not just end. It detonated.
Click the subscribe button and hold. The more you will get a little surprise. If it doesn't come now, it might come at the end of the video.
Perfect Crown did not just end. It detonated. In the last 10 minutes of the finale, she stood on that execution platform. She looked at the man who took an arrow for her in episode 5, the man who gave up his throne for her in episode 9, and she said yes to someone else. He lived, but was it mercy, or did she hand him a fate worse than death? That is the question breaking this fandom in half right now. Because here is what most recaps are not telling you. This was not a last-minute choice. The writers planted this betrayal in episode 1. I found 3 hidden clues you missed. And at 18 minutes 30, I am playing you the director's actual quote about her choice. And I promise you will not agree with him. If you think love should have won, you need to hear this whole story. Let me put you in her shoes, because unless you feel the trap, you cannot judge the choice. Prince Lee, public execution, scheduled for dawn. That is less than 24 hours away. The king makes her an offer, and he does it in front of the entire court. Thousands of witnesses. Marry my son tonight, take the crown, become queen, or the traitor dies at sunrise. Let's break that math. If she says yes, Lee lives. He lives as a convicted traitor. His name gets struck from the royal records. His family land seized. Any children he has will be born into shame. And she becomes queen, but married to the family that tried to kill him. If she says no, he dies before breakfast. Clean, fast, with his honor intact, but dead forever. The court recorder looks at her. He starts the official 30-second timer. Look at her face right here. This is not the face of a power-hungry villain. This is panic. This is calculus. And the math the show wants you to do is simple. Dead is dead. Shame is survivable. But is it? I want you to pause the video right now. 30 seconds. You decide what you would do. Whatever you picked, in about 15 minutes you are going to call her a monster for picking the other option. Let's see if you still feel that way at 19 minutes 40. I put the betrayal scene on 0.25 speed, because at full speed, you miss the truth. Watch her hands first. Frame 1. She opens her mouth to speak. No words yet. But her left hand, it clenches into her skirt. That is a fear response. Therapists call it self-soothing. She is terrified. Frame 2. Forgive me, she says it. But look where her eyes go. She does not look at Lee. She looks down at the stone floor. In Korean drama language, eye contact means truth. Looking away means you are lying, or you are hiding pain to protect someone. Director Kim Sung-soo said that in a 2023 interview about historical dramas. Source is in the description. Frame 3. Lee's reaction. His mouth opens but no sound comes out. That is real shock. His body knows before his brain does. He thought she would choose death with him, because in episode 9, he told her, "I would rather die than live in a world without you." She remembered, and she chose for him anyway. Frame 4. The music. This is the biggest clue. Do you hear that? The crown theme, the royal heavy destiny music, it starts 2 full seconds before she says, "I do." The show is telling you the choice was never hers. The crown chose her. She was just catching up. Frame 5. The tear. 1 tear. Left eye only. In K-drama visual grammar, A left tear means duty. A right tear means personal grief. She is crying for the kingdom she is about to rule, not for the man she is about to lose. Not yet. That is 5 seconds of screen time, and it tells you her entire psychological state. Comment frame if you want me to break down the episode 11 confession scene like this next Sunday. But the cruelest part, this was not a twist. This was the plan since episode 2. Go to episode 2 right now. Timestamp 14 minutes 22 seconds. I'll wait. You back? Good. The fortune teller scene. She grabs the lead's wrist. The camera does something weird. It leaves her face and it focuses on the wall behind her. See that? That is the shadow of a crown. The set designers put it there on purpose. Then the fortune teller says the line, word for word. You will wear a crown, stained in the blood of the one you love most. On first watch, we all assumed she meant her father, because episode 1 said her father was sick. Classic misdirect. But look at the grammar. The one you love most. Present tense. Not you loved, not you will love. At this point in episode 2, she has already met Lee. She has already saved his life in the hunting accident. The show is telling you right here that Lee is the blood. And it gets darker. The crown shadow on the wall, it is not the current king's crown. The props department confirmed this on Instagram. It is the exact crown she wears in the finale. They built the final prop in week 1 of filming, and they snuck it into episode 2 as a shadow. That is not foreshadowing, that is a promise. Comment number 1 if your jaw just hit the floor, because mine did when I found this. Episode 7, The Night Before the War. This is where most people say she became the villain. I think this is where she became human. Lee takes her hands. He is scared. He says word for word, promise me you will never choose power over me. Promise me I come first. And what does she do? She does not speak. She kisses him. Hard. Desperate. Everyone in the comments that week said, "Aw, that's so romantic." It was not. In Korean culture, especially Joseon era, a direct promise is binding. It is like a legal contract. If she says, "I promise," and breaks it, she loses her honor forever. By kissing him instead of answering, she did not lie, but she did not tell the truth either. The writers were screaming at us. She knew, even then, that a day would come where the crown and Lee would be on opposite sides of a choice. And she knew she would not kick him. Because if she planned to pick him, why not just say, "I promise"? 3 syllables. It would have ended the scene. She could not say it, because episode 2 already happened. The crown already picked her. Here is the one nobody is talking about. Go to episode 1, the first 3 minutes. The old court lady is teaching the young princesses history. She lists the last 3 queens who wore the crown. Queen In-hyen, poisoned by her stepson so he could take the throne faster. Queen Danui, executed for treason after her brother tried to start a coup. She was innocent, did not matter. Queen Jungsun, forced to marry her enemy's child to stop a civil war. She lived, but her true love was beheaded. Do you see the pattern? Every single queen who took that crown lost the man she loved. Every one. The show told you in minute 2 that the crown is cursed. The price of power is love. Always. And look at the crown itself. The prop master said on Twitter they are garnets. Garnet means blood in old Korean poetry. She was not just taking a crown, she was taking a curse, and she knew it. Comment cursed if you are rewatching episode 1 tonight. Okay, time to argue. I am going to Steelman Team Yes. I am going to defend her like I am her lawyer in court. Exhibit A, the math of death. Lee had 12 hours to live. 12. Dead people do not get second chances. Dead people do not get honor. They get graves. Living people can apologize. Living people can escape. Living people can start rebellions. As long as he is breathing, there is hope. She bought him time. That is what love does. It buys time. Exhibit B, the kingdom. The king said if she refuses, the war restarts tomorrow. That is 10,000 soldiers dead, 10,000 families, orphanages full. She traded one man's honor for 10,000 lives. You can call that cruel. A general would call that Tuesday. Exhibit C, Lee's own words. Episode 5, after she saves him from the arrow, he tells her, "Your duty is to the people first, always, even before me." She was obeying his last real command to her. He told her to pick the kingdom. She did. Team Yes says she is a hero, a tragic hero, but a hero. Unless, now I am going to destroy everything I just said. This is Team No. Exhibit A, she stole his choice. In Joseon, honor was not a concept. It was currency. It was everything. To live as a traitor was worse than death. He told her in episode 9, "I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees." She knew that, and she put him on his knees anyway. You do not save someone by giving them a life they told you they do not want. That is not love. That is control. Exhibit B, she kept the crown. Okay, fine. She had to say yes to stop the execution. I will give Team Yes that. But why did she keep it? After Lee was safe, she could have abdicated. She could have run away with him. She did not. She sat on the throne. She gave orders. She became queen. That is not sacrifice. That is ambition wearing a sacrifice costume. Exhibit C, Protect the People was about tax reform. Go rewatch episode 5. The context was about lowering taxes for farmers. He was not giving her permission to destroy his life. She twisted his words. Team No says she is a villain. A sympathetic villain, but a villain. So now you vote. Poll is on screen. 10 seconds. Yes or no. I found the director interview. Korean Film Weekly, May 2026. He said, quote, "The audience wants her to be a hero, but she was never written as a hero. She was written as a survivor. The Crown does not pick good people. The Crown picks people who will do what needs to be done. That is why it is a tragedy. That changes everything." Queen Sondok in 632 AD chose the throne over her lover and unified Silla. Queen Jungseon in 1800 chose the crown and her lover was beheaded. Perfect Crown did not invent this. History did. The show was just honest about it. My verdict, she was wrong for him. But she was right for the world they lived in. And that is why this hurts so much. Comment yes if you forgive her. Comment no if love should have won. I am hearting every single comment for the next hour. Best argument gets pinned tomorrow. On Wednesday I'm dropping Was the Crown Cursed Part 2 with proof the props department hid 4 more decks in the set design. Subscribe so YouTube tells you when it goes live.